Hello, and welcome to the Steve and Mark Discuss podcast, where the elder statesman Steve brings a subject to us, and I will respond in my youthful manner, from my very, very youthful understanding of such things. So, it's over to Steve.
Hi, people. Well, continuing using my cell phone for this meeting. A couple of days ago, our friend Colonel Douglas McGregor, who's normally a really good source for information about all things military, at least he was for the Ukraine. He came up with a report the other day that he said that the US had their boots on the ground in Israel, and they've already sent a group in. Don't know if it was for reconnaissance, and they were shot up. The Hamas had sorted them out. Some had died, some had got back wounded, some had got back. Now, that is before what the Israelis were saying about what they did yesterday, because yesterday the Israelis sent in a couple of tanks to do the reconnaissance. So what the US needs to understand is that once they are involved in a war against a Muslim nation, they're in for the whole thing. But not only are they in it for the whole thing with the Muslim nation, also China, who wants to remain impartial, sent 7 ships to the region, which if you want to remain impartial, why not send 7 ships? China has trade deals with most of the Muslim world. And so when push comes to shove, I know which side China is going to be on, because they're going to protect their interests, their commercial interests. And basically that's it. If it's confirmed what McGregor said, then the US has got to be prepared. The US is sending across their 12,000 troops on ships. They say because they need to take material to places like Iraq and to Syria, because they've been bombarded also in bases in Iraq and Syria, and taken casualties there. Where is it going to be? And we know that recruitment in the US military isn't all that great, and the quality that they have isn't all that great. So the US really needs to look in the mirror really fast to find out what exactly they are capable of. Or if they're just going to do a Zelensky and send all the troops into a meat grinder where, they're going to be sorry for their actions. Over to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you told me that there's a US observers on the ground in the area, there probably always has been, or is normally. The US wouldn't be sending weapons. Well, let's just face it, they do send weapons or equipment to Israel, and they're going to have sort of probably people overseeing things. Yeah, I mean, what's going on there? I mean, there is all sorts of speculation. I mean, the IDF are always releasing things. They're not going to tell you. We've got a few colleagues watching what we're doing. I mean, it might be the Americans there making sure that the Israelis do actually behave in a manner that is, that's not going to draw too much attention. I mean, whatever the Israelis do is going to be wrong. I mean, we can't support, obviously, not supporting Hamas or the Israelis. I mean, the population is a horrible thing that is going to be happening. Yeah, so yeah, to say there's observers there. You and I said a while ago, we don't think that Russia, Ukraine, yeah, it's just a local dust up between two Eastern European countries. We said that a while ago. And now it's controversial, and yes, people dying on the ground. I'll caveat that. But yeah, we are talking about something quite serious. If major world issues are going to go down, it was always going to be from the Middle East. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Mark. Don't get me wrong. When I say the troops are with the boots on the ground, I don't mean that observers like white helmets to see if Israel is what McGregor was saying. It's like the equivalent. It's the special forces of the US that is sent to Gaza to Gaza to have a look around Gaza to find out where the enemy is, and the enemy, according to McGregor, shot them up. Shot them down, shot them left and right. Killed some, injured some, and the others got out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that officially there might be observers there because I mean I don't know. I don't know what the engagement is. None of us do. Things will come out later, possibly in 10 years' time, possibly.
I'm only going by what McGregor says.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I believe there would be American presence there, or US presence, personnel, as I call it. Yeah, we had a few British people caught on camera on a few occasions in the region. Yeah, I think that it's a very, very serious thing which is going down. The escalation that could potentially happen because of the Middle East is quite something. And that's what it is. Everyone's looking after their interests there. Nobody really cares one way or another, possibly about. I'm going to say, it's controversial about the Arabs or even the Israelis. Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, you can have your feelings about different things.
I find it funny that European countries are all pussyfooting around, trying not to insult Muslims because the Muslim population now. The religion, the most popular religion in France is now Muslim.
Yeah,
is it not? It isn't Christian. It isn't Christianity anymore. It's Muslim.
Well,
in the UK, there are regions in the UK where Sharia law is the norm.
Well, I shouldn't be not.
And if you start this last day where Starmer put his foot in it, because an awful lot of Muslim MPs got on his back.
Well,
he's trying to pedal backwards, but he can't anymore.
Well, he's suffering from the typical thing of all things to all men, which never works. The trouble is, that isolating with other members of the population as well. We can't really, I mean, if you ask me if I'm nervous about what's going on in the Middle East, more so between Russia and Ukraine, yes, I will say I'm more nervous about the Middle East, where that could lead. And like you say, everybody, you didn't really see a mad clamour for people to be going to Eastern Europe. You're certainly seeing a mad clamour for everybody to get into the region now. I mean, you got to remember I'm actually going to say this. I don't think it's as bad as it could have been a few years ago when you had where there are Arab states who are calling for peace, and then Egypt is trying not to get involved one way or another. I think, Syria are getting involved. If they're going to feel the Israeli teeth bite back soon. I mean, Jordan's trying hard. They've got people saying odd things in Jordan, but I don't think Jordan really want to be too involved in it if they can avoid it. I mean, the Saudi Arabians are really, really trying desperately hard not to get involved. I mean, we all know the main source of disruption in the area. We know which country in the area is pushing all this. We're absolutely certain. And that is going to be interesting how the Israelis react to this particular country. And we all know which country, yeah, it's Iran, well, basically. Yeah.
All I can say is that if the US has got the boots on the ground and they're going in and messing around, that once again they need to look in the mirror and be truthful about what they've got. Well, because from what I can gather, if they have, then they've just opened up a huge can of worms for that region.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not too sure they've got the capability of
Well, again, this is a big unknown. I mean, the Israelis. Well, it was reported the Israelis asked Biden, please don't send troops. Don't send troops directly to us. Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that there's always American personnel in that part of the world anyway, always operating covertly with or without people's permission. It's possible there are other countries involved in it as well, i.e., the UK and France. We're not clean of it, and neither are France. Yeah, it could be funny if they might even bump into each other. I mean, yeah, it could be stuff of Hollywood. I don't know. But yes, as I'm saying, everyone's is treading carefully. Has got to tread carefully because it is. If I was to say one place where WW3 could be triggered, the most likely place would be in that region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Involve China.
Well, that's it. Everyone's watching, as you said. Everyone's got interests there. It's the place that everybody's got their fingers in some pie there. They don't want to see their bit of pie disappear or get disrupted.
There you are. Yep.
That will be it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, one to watch maybe. Let's hope that somebody in the Pentagon or in the Biden administration knows what they're doing. That's what I can say.
I'll tell you what, man. I know they don't. Well, but who does know who does know are the enemies of the US? But that's another story for another day.
Well, yeah,
another time.
Well, the US have always got enemies around the world for whatever various reasons. The trouble is they got their enough. We said in previous podcasts they've got enough troubles at home, but yes, they are the world's policemen, inverted commas, at the moment. What will happen when there's a two-polar world is anyone's guess. Maybe we're about to find out quite quickly which way that's going to go. I'm actually quite relieved I'm in Brazil sometimes. I mean, our president in Brazil is trying to walk the middle ground very, very delicately. Because, yeah, we all know there's a big population here of both. Well, again, in Sao Paulo, they've got a big Semitic population here who are quite happy living side by side, as far as I can tell, as far as I read, have done for years. It's outside us.